Honorable Minister, Minister of Lands Malawi, and my colleagues, permanent secretaries, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Indeed, this is the place to be. History in the making. 50 years, Golden Jubilee. Another 50 years ahead, a century, and still counting on our successes. For those who may not have made it to this occasion, our colleagues from other countries for various reasons, I think they have really missed. And the Governing Council, working with the DG, will try and see if we can occasion them to come and really see and witness. I really wish they should have been here. However, we understand that several countries are facing various challenges. With that said, Honourable Minister, allow me to read my speech. Honourable Minister, from the Republic of Malawi, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, accredited to Kenya, distinguished members of the RCMRD Governing Council, Director General, Dr. Nkurunziza, and the entire RCMRD family. Esteemed development partners, representatives of agencies from outside Africa and indeed from within Africa, friends of the RCMRD, and ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon once again. Are you happy? Yes. Are we happy? Yes. Thank you. Allow me to begin by introducing myself, as earlier mentioned by other speakers. My name is Patrick Mucheleka, the Permanent Secretary Minister of Lands and Natural Resources of the Republic of Zambia, and I'm also chairperson of the Governing Council. I bring you greetings from the government and people of Zambia. Allow me to convey apologies from the Honorable Minister, Honorable Silva Masebo, who also doubles as chairperson of the Conference of Ministers. As you may have been informed, she had confirmed attendance, but at the last minute she was assigned an equally important national duty. That forced her to cancel the trip to Nairobi. All the same, she wishes you the very best as we celebrate. I've mentioned to our counterpart, the Honorable Minister of Lands from Malawi, that she sends her greetings, and she wishes at some point that the two ministers can be able to speak to each other so that she's able to convey her apology in person and indeed give a solidarity message to this important occasion. And I'm glad the ministers accepted that before the close of business, perhaps we should be able to make the contact between the two ministers so that they can speak to each other. As you may also be aware, Zambia is in a period of national mourning following the demise of our former and 60th President Edgar Chagwa Lungu. So you may see that indeed there are quite a number of things that are taking place in Zambia, including the national mourning for our late former president. Ladies and gentlemen, the RCMRD governance structure provides for the Conference of Ministers at the apex, whose role is to give strategic direction and political leadership. Below the Conference of Ministers is the Governing Council, which I'm privileged to lead, hopefully up to November next year, when Zambia is expected to hand over to Malawi. My colleague from Malawi, you need to start learning from me how to be a good governing council chairperson. I'll be teaching you the next, this year and up to next year. I hope you are ready. Indeed, this is how our corporate governance is structured. The governing council is like the board of a company. From the corporate world, you have an MD and the board of directors. So this is how our governing council, or our structure, is indeed framed. And in there, we provide support to various organs of the structure, including oversight and indeed checks and balances. My reign as chair of the Governing Council runs until November 2026. It is a great privilege and honor to address you today as we gather to commemorate this remarkable milestone, the 50th anniversary of the Regional Center for Mapping of Resources for Development, RCMRD. Indeed, 50 years of regional cooperation, 50 years of scientific and technological growth, 50 years of service to our member states, to Africa, and indeed to including rural communities and indeed the entire humanity. This is not just a celebration for longevity, but of vision, purpose, and achievement, as indeed earlier clearly outlined by our Director General, who has clearly indicated where it all began. 50 years ago in 1975, the steps that have been taken, the challenges we have faced, how we have been able to weather the storms, and indeed preparing from where we stand 50 years today, and still counting another 50 years ahead. That is how far we have come. Since its establishment in 1975, under the auspices of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, RCMRD has evolved from a training and advisory institution to a leading center of excellency in Earth observation, geospatial science, and sustainable development solutions. Today, the center proudly serves 20 member states, each of whom plays a critical role in its governance, direction, and impact. Distinguished guest of honor, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, by the 1990s and getting into the 2000s, the center expanded its portfolio to include remote sensing, geographic information systems, GIS, and digital cartography, and gradually transformed into a hub for Earth observation and geospatial innovation. Over the past 5 decades, the center has become a continental leader in delivering technical solutions for sustainable development. It has supported countries in land management, water resource management, to disaster preparedness, agriculture and food security, weather and climate resilience, and indeed urban planning, and many more other activities. Amplifying our reach and serving over 500 million of Africans. That is what the center has been doing. And indeed, as part of the center's legacy, I want to highlight the collective population of our respective 20-member states, a powerful testament to our regional reach and the communities we serve. According to the latest estimates from the United Nations and other reputable sources, I'm trying now to indicate to you how this center has been able to serve almost 500 million of Africans. In Botswana, with a population of estimated population of about 2.4 million. Burundi, 13.4 million. The Comoros, 900,000. The Kingdom of Eswatini, 1.2 million. Ethiopia, with the largest population among the 20-member countries, well over 120 million. Kenya, where we are, our host country, and indeed we are very grateful for the support that the Kenyan government and the people have given to our center. As mentioned by the Director General, we are serving close to 55 million Kenyans. The Kingdom of Lesotho, 2.2 million. The Republic of Malawi, Honorable Minister, close to 22 million people. The island of Mauritius, about 1.2 million. The Republic of Rwanda, and indeed we are very grateful for the support that Rwanda has also rendered to us by also allowing the Director General to be far away from home to come and serve indeed the entire 20 countries from East Africa and Southern Africa. We are very grateful to the government of Rwanda and indeed the people of Rwanda. Seychelles, 200,000 people. Did I mention Namibia? My PS will not spare me if I don't mention Namibia, because I'm looking at you. Namibia, about 2.7 million. Somalia, 20 million. South Africa, about 65 million people. South Sudan, 16 million. Sudan, 48 million. Tanzania, 67 million. Uganda, my predecessor, my colleague, the PS from Uganda, about 47 million. And indeed, Zambia, almost 22 million. Last but not the least, Zimbabwe, about 16 million. Together, if you have been adding, you'll see that this represents almost 520 million people. It's a huge number, huge population, depending on the services that are indeed provided by the center. This figure that I've mentioned does not even include countries outside the member states, but with the center's footprint. For example, Angola and Mozambique are also very eager and are on the verge of joining the center. The center's footprints can also be seen or even felt in Madagascar, Eritrea, and Djibouti. This is us, as a center, forging pathways to empower communities, including our communities in the rural areas, including our people who live on the margins, our people struggling with challenges of land scarcity, encroaching, the growing concern of urbanization, populations increasing or growing, well, the land size has basically remained the same. In some situations, leading to internally displaced peoples, if not properly handled, in some cases, even conflicts within and among countries, challenges of border affirmations between and among countries. So this is where the center has indeed come to the fore and provided solutions to some of the challenges that indeed we have been able to face as 500 million people served by the center, and even beyond, like those countries that I've mentioned who may not be members of the center as at now. Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, we are still, as I alluded to, forging ways to empower communities, inform governance, and enhance livelihoods of our people in all those countries that we serve or who make up the membership. The success story of the center would not be complete without acknowledging the unwavering support of our partners, multilateral agencies, bilateral donors, the private sector, actors, civil society, the academia, and international organizations. Through your technical assistance, funding, and collaboration, RCMRD has consistently delivered on its mandate. You have helped the center bridge the gap between science and service. We celebrate the infrastructural transformation that has taken place at the center here in Nairobi. From humble beginnings, as earlier alluded to by the DG, the center now boasts of modern laboratories, a data hub, advanced satellite imagery receiving infrastructure, geospatial research facilities, and conference spaces, a true reflection of our shared commitment to capacity development and innovation. This Golden Jubilee celebration provides an opportunity to reflect on the past and indeed on the future, not only on what we have achieved, but on why the center matters now more than ever before. The world faces unprecedented challenges. As I earlier alluded to, urbanization, resource scarcity, conflict, natural disasters, coming mainly as a result of climate change and global warming. Africa in particular stands at crossroads between vulnerability and potential. That is why the work of the center in deploying Earth observation technologies for decision-making is indispensable. Satellite imagery and geospatial intelligence are no longer optional tools. They are strategic enablers. The center's Earth observation applications have supported the early warning systems for floods in Malawi and Mozambique, drought monitoring and food security analysis across the Horn of Africa, land cover mapping and urban planning in East Africa, biodiversity conservation in 23 countries in eastern and southern part of Africa, disaster damage assessments after cyclones and landslides, and land administration support to promote tenure security and economic development, among others. This is Earth intelligence for all in action, and it resonates fully with the Group on Earth Observation Framework, the Africa Space Policy, and the African Union's Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. As we look ahead, the alignment between the center and the Agenda 2063 vision is clear. We seek a prosperous, integrated, and resilient Africa, driven by knowledge, innovation, and sustainable resource management. The center is firmly embedded in Africa's space ecosystem, collaborating with national and regional space agencies to ensure that Africa's development is informed by accurate, real-time, and locally relevant data. But none of this can happen in isolation. The future of Earth observation in Africa and of sustainable development depends on deeper regional integration, stronger governance, bold investments, and indeed collective action. As chair of the Governing Council, I urge all of us, governments, partners, the private sector, the communities, the academia, to invest in the next generation of Earth scientists, geospatial innovators, and decision makers. Let us commit to empowering African solutions to African challenges. Let us strengthen the center so that the next 50 years will even be more impactful than the last 50 years. The challenges we face are many. Obviously, that also includes challenges and financial resources. Member countries have obligations to the center. in order to keep the center running and in order for us to be provided with the numerous services that I've mentioned, we require to also support by way of meeting our annual financial obligations. If you allow me, I want to make a very passionate appeal to all our member countries, those that are here, and indeed those that may not be here for various reasons, that we must take steps this year, starting now, going forward, to meet our financial obligation to the center. The Governing Council, working closely with our management team led by the Director General, will be taking steps to speak to each one of us, to persuade our members to make those financial contributions. Yes, we appreciate the challenges that we are faced with, all of us at country level. The economies in our member states, due to various challenges, including global challenges, continental, regional, are mostly faced with challenges which have also somehow impacted on the livelihoods of our people. But even with that, we can still be able to find a balance and indeed support our center so that it also stands ready to respond to some of those challenges that I have alluded to in terms of helping to mitigate. Before I close, I wish to commit to you that Zambia, and indeed on behalf of my Honorable Minister, who has not been able to make it, as I earlier alluded to, because of other important national duties, and also speaking for myself as the current chair, we shall continue to support the center in all way possible to achieve its mandate. And my leadership as the chairperson of the Governing Council, we shall collectively, with colleagues from member countries, be able to ensure that we build on the successes of our predecessors and seek to add positive value and touch to the developments already achieved. In conclusion, I wish to commend the center management and staff led by our Director General, Dr. Nkruziza, for organizing this outstanding Golden Jubilee celebration. You have shown us that indeed the center is rooted in the past, but it is also boldly oriented towards looking into the future. Another 50 years, even going beyond the AU 2063 agenda. If you add today, 200, this is the 2025, add another 50 years. That will be 2075. Our footprints, those who were there before us, have been celebrated, and I think it's history in the making. We may also want, indeed, to leave a positive footprint collectively. We value all the member countries as I mentioned them, together with the population that they have, and the work and the mass, critical mass that we can indeed bring. So the future indeed is very bright. May this Golden Jubilee celebration ignite renewed energy, unity, innovation across our member states and beyond. Long live the center. Long live the center. Long live African solidarity. Long live African solidarity. Honorable Minister, dear colleagues, I thank you.